Hi guys, this is going to be a collective tarot reading, therefore it's not intended for any sign specifically, but if you've clicked on this reading, you're here for a reason. You've been led here, you've been guided, you've been pulled to this reading. It is going to be a general one, so if you're after a personal reading, feel free to reach out and inquire. My email address is going to be listed below the video. So let's go ahead and begin. So the state of your relationship right now between you and a connecting romantic energy is the Hangman. And this is a card that's mainly designated. It's mainly directed towards waiting, suspension, stagnation, a bit of a delay or a pause, okay? And it's also suggestive that maybe this is something that you're doing right now. So you and your connecting romantic energy are in a period of suspension. The relationship maybe is at a bit of a standstill. It's not necessarily growing or moving forward. The both of you might also be in a no contact, no communication period of the connection, okay? So you're not necessarily communicating with one another, or if you are, it's not necessarily, like for example, it's a little bit awkward or it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's not how it used to be, okay? So some of you might be waiting to receive contact, or you're waiting to receive communication from your person, or if you've maybe you're waiting for them to reach out, okay? But of course this could also be your person's energy, okay? They may have pulled back a little bit and maybe they're waiting for you to initiate conversation, or it's like someone here is waiting for someone to make a move, or they're waiting for contact, communication, or they're waiting for things to move forward, okay? However, I feel like with the Hangman's energy, it suggests, the cards here suggesting that the very thing you need to do right now is wait, okay? And maybe, you know, you're already in this phase where you're waiting and you feel like you're waiting, you know, a little bit, you feel like you've sort of waited too long. But keep in mind that taking action is not always the best solution, you know, in certain circumstances or certain things, right? The energy that they're bringing, okay, the energy that your person is bringing or has brought to the relationship is the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is a deceptive kind of energy, okay? This indicates deception, betrayal, maybe they're being sneaky, maybe your person is being, you know, disloyal or has been disloyal, manipulative. But given the repetition of the swords, I feel like this has happened, this may have been ongoing, okay? So your person has slipped up or they're screwed up in this connection. It feels like on more than one occasion. I also feel like, just going back to the Hangman's energy, this sort of waiting, someone here might be blocked, okay, just because of the energies that we're picking up. So your person may have blocked you, okay, or you feel like you're somehow you feel like you're blocked by your person, or maybe this is you who's blocked your person. So maybe, you know, your person has blocked you on social media, maybe they've blocked your number, maybe they've restricted like access, they've restricted you from accessing them, okay? Or it could be you, maybe you have blocked your person. Okay, but to me, it feels like, because the Seven of Swords is a bit of like, I feel like they're playing games here, okay? So if your person has blocked you, or if you feel like, you know, they're purposely trying to make it really difficult for you to speak to them or really difficult for you to see them, I feel like your person is testing your boundaries. I feel like they're trying to test your boundaries here. Unfortunately, you're not able to physically make someone respect your boundaries, even though that's the outcome you want to achieve, right? But to me, it just feels like maybe this is someone who has violated your boundaries or who's not respecting those boundaries. And instead, I feel like this person is, you know, sort of trying to push or even test your boundaries here to see how far, you know, how far they can go. And the way in which they're doing this is sort of, you know, I'm seeing that behavior patterns, that behavioral or like emotional patterns that are a little bit harder to change, right? They may also be a little bit aggressive or even like abusive. But in saying that, maybe there's not been clear or consistent boundaries that have been set by you, okay? Maybe you know, maybe your boundaries aren't firm or aren't rigid enough, okay? Maybe this is why they're violating them, or they're overstepping them, or they're trying to test them. It just feels like, or maybe you're not consistent enough, okay? Because, you know, you need to be clear and consistent, especially when you're dealing with someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. You have to be very clear and consistent to them, consistent with them, almost like if you were to, you know, to a child. So I feel like this person is trying to find, what they're trying to do is trying to find holes in this relationship, or trying to find like holes in your boundary, and is trying to see how they can use those boundaries against you, how far they can like push those boundaries, how far they can push the envelope. So it's so important, I mean, especially because with the Queen of Swords here, it's so important that you are assertive with this individual, and it's so important that you're, you know, clearly telling him or her that their behavior is not okay. Okay, the way that they treat you is not okay. The way that they treat, you know, talk to you is not okay. And it's so important that you stick to that and you follow through with those consequences. Otherwise, you're not being consistent enough. So yeah, I feel like there's with this individual, I do feel like they're playing games. I do feel like this is someone who is trying to, look, I think they, you know, this is someone who is maybe currently acting sneaky or has been sneaky. And I think this person may have gotten away with certain things in the past, and they may be continuing to do so. That's why it's so important. You know, they've slipped away once, they slipped away twice. And it's so important for you to sort of, you know, call them out on that, okay? There may be something that your person here is going to tremendous effort to cover something up. So they may be being dishonest with you, they may be disloyal with you, and I feel like they're going through a lot of effort trying to cover up, trying to tell you lies, trying to act like they're not doing anything wrong. And I feel like, yeah, you're the victim of this person's betrayal, okay? And this person is not being honest with you. You might be completely unaware of their lies and completely unaware of their deception, okay? Because you do have the Magician here and the Queen of Swords. So yeah, you might be completely, you know, you might be trusting this person, and it turns out, you know, they have their own agenda going, okay? And they might be leaving you high and dry here, okay? There's sneaky behavior. That's why it's so important for you to listen to your intuition, okay? Because the Eight of Wands, I feel like, you know, the outcome that you desire is to move this relationship forward, okay? To figure, you know, to move things forward. I also feel like you want contact, or you want communication, because I feel like for a lot of you, you feel like that's going to clear things up between you and your person. You feel like maybe you want to call them out, you want to ask them something, but you want them to respond with a sense of honesty. Because remember, it does feel like, you know, this person has been, you know, sneaky in the past, and they may have lied to you in the past, and it's so important that you don't, you know, you don't let them get away with it again. So even though, you know, the Eight of Wands, you might be desiring contact, you might be desiring communication with this person, it's so important that you guys don't fall back into those same patterns. You know, don't take any shortcuts as well. And that's why I feel like with the Hangman, that's why I think, you know, not taking any action is the best course of action right now, because you don't want to take any shortcuts, or you don't want to use the back door to get to, you know, where it is that you want to go in this relationship, okay? So that's why it's so important to be patient and just to sort of give each other the space right now, because I feel like in time, something here is going to come to light. And use your intuition, okay? You've got the Eight of Cups. If this person has pulled away from you, or even if you're pulling away from this person and you're finding it very hard to stay away, and you're sort of like trying to, you know, you're gravitating back towards this person, I feel like it's so important for you to, you know, draw on that intuition, because that your intuition is suggesting that you need to put yourself first. You need to put you first. You need to put your emotional needs first, because this person isn't doing it for you. So, you know, I think that you can't be everything to everyone, right? And you cannot pour from an empty chalice. It's so important that you prioritize your needs first and your priorities. I don't know that this person, like, understands where it is that you're coming from when you spoke to this individual in the past. And I don't think, I also feel like with the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Cups here, I feel like you might be, you know, unbeknownst to you, you might actually be dodging a bullet, or I feel like someone is trying to escape a situation that is not working for them. or trying to escape a situation that they don't want to deal with. Okay, so if something here has happened between the both of you recently, this person doesn't want to talk about it. This person doesn't want to deal with their emotions. They don't want to face their emotions. They don't want to talk about their emotions. They just don't want to deal with it. So this is their way of trying to deal with it, which is just trying to maybe ghost you, maybe just pull away, maybe just not talk about, you know, not talk about it, maybe just act really distant. But sometimes, you know, a lot of the times you need to face what needs to be faced, right? But this person, I feel like, is trying to get away from it, is trying to, yeah, pull away from it as well. I don't know that there may be a dark secret that your person might be keeping, or I feel like, you know, maybe some of you, because you've got the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Swords here, some of you may be tricking yourself into believing that this person is acting with integrity when really they're not, or this person, you know, doesn't have their own agenda when really they do. So be careful that the Seven of Swords is not the deceptive, you know, is not the energy that you're bringing to this reading, is not the energy that you're bringing to this connection, okay? Because you might be looking at the situation and you might be romanticizing the situation. So what do I mean by that? Like looking at things and seeing what you want to see rather than what's really there. So there may be like a whole heap of red flags, but you know, you're suddenly seeing them as green flags waving you down. So be careful. The self-deception could just as easily be with you. And the Queen of Swords here is encouraging you to, you know, look past that illusion, look past the glistening allure of illusion, okay? You might be idolizing this person. Like they may be, you know, just amazing to you, okay? And you might put them on a pedestal when really, are they really that great? I mean, really? So be careful that you're the one that's not being deceptive and you're not the one that's bringing that energy into the reading, okay? Because that could very well be the case. I think there's something here that could free you from the negative emotions that you're currently experiencing, and I think that's just being honest, getting honest with yourself, okay? Is this the type of person that you see yourself with? If so, you know, how is it that the both of you can work through this, okay? Because, you know, it's not love if you're loving alone, and you cannot manage the situation on your own. It takes two. It takes two to tango. So is this someone, you know, is this someone that you can confide in? Is this someone that you can trust? Because the Queen of Swords, she could also be telling us that, you know, there's this growing fatigue of trying to keep up some sort of charade, and maybe that's you, okay? Or maybe it's your person. Maybe your person, you know, just can no longer keep up this charade, and this is their way of trying to sort of back out, or, you know, maybe you can no longer keep up with this. Maybe it's just too exhausting, too fatiguing, and you know what? You're done. Stick a fork in it, you're done kind of energy. So the Eight of Cups is walking away from something, okay? It's walking away, or it's pulling away. Okay, and it might help you achieve that desired outcome, because even if, you know, this has potential, and even if you do, you know, deep down inside want it to work, you might have to pull away, okay, so that they, you know, understand. Because sometimes people, you know, they don't see your value until they feel your absence, and maybe this is one of those times, right? But I think that, you know, someone here may be taking you for granted, and you need to sort of pull away, and they may come chasing, they may come running as a result. How the both of you really feel about the situation is the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is a lot of emotions, okay? The chalice here, in fact, is overflowing with emotions. It's like an awakening of new feelings. So you may be feeling all sorts of things that you've never felt before, okay? And these could be some positive emotions, but it could also be some negative emotions. Also, your person is experiencing similar emotions, okay? So they're kind of feeling what you're feeling. They may also be overwhelmed by the situation and the emotions that they're experiencing for you. That's the other thing that your person might be reluctant to face, is the emotions and the feelings they have for you, okay? And, you know, maybe they're just not ready, okay? Maybe they're not ready for a relationship. Maybe they're not ready to feel all those things. So whilst an understanding can be reached between the both of you want to be able to, you know, achieve and move towards that desired outcome. So at this time, I think it's so important for the both of you to make decisions that stem from your intuition, okay? Because the Ace of Cups does favor intuition, so it's so important for you to intuitively feel the situation out, okay? I said intuition, not ego, okay? Those are two very different things. So if your ego is saying one thing, let your intuition override that. So learn to trust from your gut, right? Rather than overanalyze any situations. Learn to go, you know, with your gut. Again, don't confuse your gut feelings with your ego, because even though they may feel similar, those are two very different things. So, you know, you've got this Ace of Cups, and it does indicate that, you know, you might be searching for a new start with this person, or a new beginning, or, you know, that you may want to sort of bring a peace and happiness to the situation right now. Okay, it's wanting to let go of past wrongs, you know, forgiveness as well. If this person has hurt you, I think a lot of you, you know, you're finding it in your heart to forgive them. Maybe not right now, but I do see that, you know, that is strongly indicated in the card, in the card. But it is like openness, it's harmony, and I think you both want to harmonize. Okay, you both want to harmonize, you know, the situation, harmonize what you're feeling. But it's I do think there's a lot going on here in this relationship and in this connection, so much so that, you know, it's overflowing. And you might be, I think it also could suggest that you might be putting just too much attention, the both of you may be putting too much attention or focus on outer circumstances. So, you know, you need to, maybe some of you, especially with the Eight of Cups here, you need to retreat, okay? Kind of retreat into yourself so that you can become harmonious within yourself, okay? Because don't forget, our outer world is a projection of your inner world, okay? So what's going on is not just a result of the role that your person is playing in this relationship, but it's also as a result of the role that you play as well. So, you know, make no moves, make no decisions, okay? Because, you know, the Two of Wands is what you need to know about your options, or what you need to know about, you know, moving forward here. You know, I think we're sort of, you know, making a full circle back to the Hangman's energy. Make no moves or make no decisions until I feel like you kind of cleansed yourself of any like negative emotions that might be haunting you, okay? So remember, you cannot heal a relationship, a situation, or you cannot heal in the environment that made you unwell, okay? So you cannot go back to, you know, you can't sort of reconnect with this person, re-enter the relationship in the same energy in which the relationship, you know, sort of fell apart or deteriorated, okay? I think it's so important that you give yourself that permission now to cleanse yourself, okay, of any negative emotions or just any negativity that may be haunting you right now. So I think, yeah, that's very important. And the two of Wands, I think it's, you really need to put, okay, some thought into the trajectory of this relationship, of this connection, okay, the direction that in which it's heading in, or which it needs to go in, okay? So, and this is why I feel like the Hangman here is just so important. It's all about just, you know, you've hit a bit of a standstill or a stagnation. It's for a reason, and it's really giving you that time to reflect on the relationship, reflect on the situation, and where things are going. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please show your support to this channel by subscribing. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It helps this channel to grow, and by liking, commenting, and sharing. Bye.